I really so grateful that I'm in the world where there is a word for feminism, or even ladies first. There was never such a time I heard like ladies first. In North Korea, every time is men first. If your household has a bicycle in North Korea, like at least where I was in the middle class in the countryside, it is almost equivalent owning a BMW or sedan. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Yeonmi Park. I'm a North Korean defector human rights activist. Today in this video, I'm going to talk about something very personal to me, about women's lives in North Korea. North Korean regime says North Korea is a paradise for women, and I will tell you why it's not. There are 7 the most ridiculous things that you cannot do because you are simply women in North Korea right now. Number 1, no pants rule. Because wearing pants is not womanly enough in the eyes of men in North Korea. I remember my aunt was selling fish in the black market, and in the market, when you do this kind of business, we don't have trucks to moving things. It's all manually carrying things. While she was carrying this fish on her head in the bag and climbing stairs to carry things, wearing a skirt that's covering your knees is really not comfortable to do all this manual physical work. And most of all, she had to sell this fish in the black market. We don't even have proper chair to sit. So sitting on that skirt on the floor, it was very uncomfortable for her. And this really eliminates women's ability to do more work. This rule, no pants rule, was a little bit going back and forth in the countryside. There were times, actually, sometimes, really rarely, regime saying women can wear pants. But out of nowhere, one day said no pants, and suddenly everywhere on the street, people like this, the police almost like the fashion police standing there and making sure that women don't wear pants. However, in Pyongyang, the capital, this rule, the no pants rule, has been very consistent. They really make sure the women in capital are womanly enough for the men. So there was really no compromise for the women to wear pants in capital, and women must wear skirt even this freezing winter time. Number 2, no bicycle for women. Another thing, the fact that women sitting on the chair and doing this is not womanly enough, and also it's a little bit they engage in some kind of sexual way, that riding a bicycle for women, and it's not perfectly fine for men. So in Pyongyang, obviously, very consistently saying no, women cannot ride a bicycle. However, in the countryside, the rules were going back and forth a little bit. Because in the countryside, life's even a lot harder for women, so they know sometimes women have to do a lot of physical manual labor. My sister was able to learn how to ride a bicycle, but I wasn't, because the time when I was able to learn, we were so poor to even afford one bicycle. And if your household has a bicycle in North Korea, at least where I was in the middle class in the countryside, it is almost equivalent owning a BMW or sedan. That's how fancy the bicycle, the transportation is. Our family had a very briefly bicycle in our family, and we couldn't afford it anymore, so my sister only learned how to ride it. But my mom also learned how to ride it, but then country says no, women cannot. And this is another way, men, when they go to work, if they have bicycle, they can go really quickly and go back and forth. But if you're a woman, you cannot do it. So it takes forever to go anywhere, and commuting anywhere for women. Just so unnecessary pain for women, because we North Korean women somehow have to meet the standards of North Korean men's eyes. What is womanly enough? What is the most modest thing women can do for them? Number 3. You can keep your name in North Korea as a woman when you marry. So this is a little bit irony, right? When I came to the West, I was really shocked that when women get married, a lot of times women choose the husband name and like follow the husband name. And I mean, but what I learned also was amazing. You have a choice to keep your name. And I also know a lot of like husbands that I know, they actually follow their wife's like family name. That was so wonderful. In North Korea, like you don't have to, nobody actually copies their husband name, but the children, when you have a children, it must be following the father's name. So my mom's first like family name is Byun, and my father's family name was Park. So that's why I'm Yeonmi Park. And like that, so children must follow father's name, and there's no option whatsoever. So even though it seems like North Korea is a bit more advanced, that women don't have to follow husband's name, but when it comes to children, like in a way that it's not yours anymore, it's your husband's, even though women bear the children and give birth to them. Number 4. If you are a woman in North Korea and if you are picked by the group in Pyongyang for the pleasure squad, you must go. In one of the videos, I talked about the pleasure squad in North Korea, where the regime goes looking for these pretty girls all around the country and picking them to Pyongyang and capital, make them into, physicians, like secretary, and later becomes sexual slaves to kings and high elite. When you are picked by this group, you have no choice, you must go. So being a pleasure squad, being a like sexual slave to the regime isn't your choice in North Korea. If you're women, if you're selected by this group, you must go. Number 5, women as a breadwinner. This is like something that's so irony in my mind. Like there's a lot of patriarchy societies that I see in the world, that of course like they don't let women drive, or like they are not letting women show their hair, but a lot of times they like men still like able to provide, and they expect men to be the main breadwinner for the family. But it's very opposite in North Korea. They expect women to be the breadwinner, bring the bread to the table, while doing all this nonsense stuff to women. In North Korean regime, like men need to go to work, and if you are a doctor and medical doctor in North Korea, your salary is $1. So even if you marry a medical doctor in North Korea, you cannot survive out of the salary from your husband. Then what does women have to do? Because the husband have to go to work in the factory, anywhere. Women have to go in the black market and find a way to survive. And during that time, women get raped by these officials because they are engaging in this black market illegal trading. The guys who supposed to protect the women, they are the ones who's raping women. So while women have to be the breadwinner, there's so much sexual harassment and rape happening, and women have no place to go. And my aunt, I remember she was working so hard at home, raising her son and cleaning home, cooking for her husband, all of that, doing stuff and going to black market and making money, and there's no place that appreciates her, not even at home, not even in the society. Like women is almost like the most exploited subject in North Korea right now. Number 6, domestic work is all for women. It is another really shocking point to me, is that a lot of times, if like in the West, I saw the women who were like breadwinners, then at least the husband were like helping the women out at home. They helped clean up clothes, laundry, cooking and cleaning, taking care of children at home. But in North Korea, even the man doesn't make a penny, and all they're doing is going to factory and smoking and drinking and doing gambling. Women work so hard outside. When they come home, they must do everything. And this most ridiculous thing is that North Korean men, most of them, expect women to prepare them to like every meal, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. North Korean meal is not like simple, like a lot of things are not like instant in the West. You cannot just put a bread in the toaster and grill it and put some eggs in the pan, like that kind of quickly thing. In North Korea, we don't have this gas or like anything so quick. We have to chop the wood, we have to start the fire, we start like boil the water, wash, go somewhere in the lake to bring the fresh water, cooking the grain, and chop the like vegetable, really making full meal. But imagine you do that 3 times a day, and cleaning and children, and then you have to make money outside to make that grain and make the food to come home. So it's just so enormous pressure on women's shoulder. Today's North Korea exists because women are all doing this work. Number 7, North Korean women are sold like pigs in China. I was talking about this, like my also personal human trafficking experience in China. When in the 90s, when North Korea was going into this economic hardship, women the ones who had to start looking for the way to survive and feeding their children and husband. They were the ones who pioneered of escape from North Korea for the first time, in search of food and helping their family. Women chose to go to China and chose to be going to brothel and being married to human traffickers and farmers and being raped. And they are hoping this man who buys them would help their husband and children back in North Korea. In the 90s, most women went to China to do this because there was no way to find food in North Korea. And even till this day, women who are the ones go escape and risk their life and go China and doing everything they could to help their family. And they were so the ones who, like myself, go to even South Korea, America, they do not stop contacting their families. Most of the factors who have escaped safely and arrived in freedom, they stay in contact with their family members back in North Korea. And even after escape, women, when we come here, it's not like we can start living our life again. We still have to be responsible for the families we left behind. They work so hard as a, washer, dishwashing, and they as a waitress, and even taxi driver as a woman, and they save them money and give it through Chinese broker and send it to North Korea, and their family members left behind. These were the 7 most ridiculous things that women have to suffer in North Korea. And I think this is I really so grateful that I'm in the world where there is a word for feminism, or even ladies first. There was never such a time I heard ladies first. In North Korea, every time is men first. On the even dining table, when we are all family gathers, women are allowed to start eating first. Even though we paid for that food, we prepared for that meal, we cannot lift our spoon until the father lifts their spoon. And we cannot put it down, the father puts it down. And that is still the everyday life for North Korean women, most of them. And I really hope that someday in this world, all gender become equal and we get the equal opportunity and equal treatment. Thank you again for watching my video today and helping me to raise awareness about North Korean women's situation in North Korea. Thank you guys, and I look forward to seeing you next time.